Hello everyone, this year Ganesh Chaturthi is extremely special because we have Ritvik Dhanjani with us with his eco-friendly Ganesha. Hi Ritvik,
Hi.
welcome to Pinkwilla.
Thank you very, very much. Thank you.
Even before we start speaking about the significance of the festival, I want to ask you this idol. It's beautiful, it's
Thank
lovely.
you. That's so sweet. Thank
Take
you.
me through the process of making this and the inspiration behind having an eco-friendly Ganesha every year.
Yeah, more than inspiration, it's a necessity. Ab yaar. Of course, my inspiration sort of comes from the fact that हम 11 दिन के गणपति रखते हैं और 11वें दिन आप एक काम कीजिए, आप सिर्फ कोई भी बीच पे चले जाइए, आपका नजरिया बदल जाएगा और अगर नहीं बदला तो फिर शायद आप इंसान नहीं हैं. So this has been happening. I've been having Ganpati for almost 20 years. This is going to be my 20th year that I'm going to be having Papa.
Wow.
And I wouldn't lie, I wasn't as aware as I am now.
Sure.
Maybe 5-6 years ago, I wasn't. And I would also go ahead and buy a normal POP ki jo ghumti rehti hai waisa, but without realizing the kind of effect that we have or the kind of the cause and effect that it creates for our environment.
Yeah.
But after getting to know the destruction that it causes, the non-eco-friendly murtis, the amount of destruction that it causes, and not only for the festival but also for so many months and years to come.
I agree.
That it's disastrous, यार. हमें
It is.
वो करने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. This is the most amazing way for you to be connected with God.
Yeah.
And what better way than you creating Him yourself and celebrating Him? So
yeah. And like before we started rolling, we spoke about how therapeutic this process could be, right? Tell me, take me through that process. How do you feel when you do it exactly? You're making Bappa of your own.
Yeah.
So you're connected more emotionally to the idol.
Yeah. You will not believe when you start making the murti for the first time.
Yeah.
And when you see it coming to life, when you see it shaping up, it actually reflects who you are. And maybe not who you are, but maybe the emotion that you're in.
Yeah.
Like last time I was making my first murti. I made 2 murtis last year.
Yeah.
The first murti that I was making last year, उस वक्त ना हमारी बिल्डिंग में कुछ प्रॉब्लम चल रही होती है ना, सोसाइटी की प्रॉब्लम चल रही है. और मैं अपनी बिल्डिंग के लिए मूर्ति बनाता हूँ, वेरी ऑनेस्टली.
Sure.
तो मेरी बिल्डिंग में हमेशा मैं एक मूर्ति बना के रखता हूँ. तो बिल्डिंग में बहुत पंगे चल रहे थे कि ग्रुप पे पापा के साथ, पापा बड़े टेंशन में, मैं बड़ा टेंशन में. तो मैं ना बड़े गुस्से में था उस दिन जिस दिन मैंने मूर्ति बनाना शुरू किया. तो आपको अगर मैं वो फोटो दिखाऊंगा तो वो बप्पा एक्चुअल में वो गुस्से में है, वो लाल है. जब बन के पूरे तैयार हुए तो मैंने वही मूर्ति रखी बिल्डिंग. मतलब ये देखो, ये तुम हो जिसकी वजह से इतना गुस्सा आया. But it's therapeutic. It's cathartic. It's the catalyst for you to dwell into so many different feelings. It's a beautiful process.
Sure.
Beautiful. और कोई भी कर सकता है. It's not a you've never done it. Have you done it before?
I've never done it.
मैं मजाक नहीं कर रहा हूँ. दोस्त अब भी मिट्टी उठा. And you can start with me right now. By tomorrow you'll make your own murti. And I'm
really
not, without me doing anything. We have a couple of our people, like our neighbors, who have just come in and join us this year. कि हम बनाएंगे आपके साथ. And I have not done anything. All of them have come, seen what is happening, and they've made their own murtis. If you guys can sort of have a look around, there are so many bappas. This is mine, but there are so many other bappas that have been made by people who have never touched.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So yeah.
Absolutely. But this, like we were talking about making this process, and it does look difficult from the face of it. As a layman, I would think, how would I make it? But is it really that difficult?
Nah.
And what is the inspiration in the sense? Do you have an idol in front of you and you carve it accordingly? How do you do it?
You could do that. For a lot of people, you can have an idol in front of you. For me, this year I had a picture. Honestly, I don't know how this came to be. मैं जिस दिन पहले दिन बनाना शुरू किया, I had this picture that came in front of me, and I was like, मैं lotus पे बैठ के बप्पा बनाऊंगा. And I stuck that picture here, and I keep looking at it, and whatever comes. Of course, these two are different from each other. But this is the inspiration, and this is how it's turned out to be.
Sure.
You can make it from an already small existing idol. You can make it from a picture.
Yeah.
You can make it from nothingness.
Absolutely.
It'll come to life. It'll automatically does. The process is so beautiful. हर किसी के साथ हो जाए. No matter what, you will always be able to make it pop. It's very easy.
Absolutely.
Very easy.
Let me introduce the toolbox here. You have a toolbox
Yeah.
which take us to some tools which you use sometimes to carve the idol.
We've got a bundle of things here, man. बहुत सारी चीजें हैं. If anybody wants to get to know this, so you can get this at a any common stationery shop, any common art shop. It's very easy.
Sure. Sure.
These are scraping tools. You can sort of whenever you कभी हाथों के बीच में मिट्टी एक्स्ट्रा चली जाए तो उसको scrape कर दो. I'll show you some. So you wanna see this? Can you see here? Now, for example, the lines are merging in,
Yeah,
right? So
yeah.
I wanna create like a defined line. Here you go. So you'll see the definition of the hands there.
It does look
So,
more
yeah,
sharper.
you can carve it.
And tell me, you also now have started helping your friends do this.
Yeah.
Which was not the case 5 years ago. In fact, I saw an interview where you said that it took you 2 days to just make the eyes
Yeah.
initially.
The first year I didn't make the eyes. The first year Rakesh made the eyes for my Bappa.
Uh-huh.
Rakesh is Rakesh Bapat. He's my Guruji. The first year it was Rakesh who sort of helped me through making the eyes, getting the detailing right,
Yeah.
and all of that. The first year was that. And then eventually I picked it up, and then uske baad sab kuch.
What are your childhood memories of Ganesh ji? Do you remember
Yeah.
when you started out?
I was in MP.
हाँ.
मैं मध्य प्रदेश में पला बड़ा हूँ, मंदसौर में, छोटे से गांव में. तो हमारे वहाँ के बप्पा कैसे होते थे, हम 11 दिन के बप्पा रखते थे और छोटे छोटे बच्चे गली में सबके घर जाते थे चंदा मांगने.
हाँ.
कि चंदा मांगो भाई, कोई 11 रुपए दे दे, कोई 21 रुपए दे दे, कोई 51 रुपए दे
हाँ.
दे. और सबसे फेवरेट होता थे हम होते थे हमारे डॉक्टर गुलाटी साहब, क्योंकि वो 101 रुपए देते थे. वो बहुत बढ़िया मजा आता था. 101 रुपए की रसीद काटते वक्त ऐसा लगता था कि हम आज तो राजा है दोस्त, 101 रुपए का चंदा लेकर आए कहीं से. तो हम इकट्ठा करते थे, कुछ 4-5 हज़ार रुपए हमारे पास आ जाते थे 11 दिन के लिए. तो उसमें हम मूर्ति भी खरीदते थे और फिर 11 दिन की झांकी बनाना. वहाँ पर क्या हर रोज अलग अलग झांकी बनती है.
हाँ.
तो अब हम निठल्ले बच्चे, हमारे पास 5,000 रुपए, उसमें क्या क्या करेंगे हम.
हाँ.
तो जो कंस्ट्रक्शन साइट्स होती है, बालू रेत, पता है आपको क्या होती है बालू रेत? एक मिट्टी आती है जिसको आप पानी डालोगे तो कड़क हो जाती है. उसके साथ आप
You can.
पहाड़ बना सकते हो,
sure.
पुल बना सकते हो,
हाँ.
आप बहुत सारी चीजें खेल सकते हो उसके साथ. That's what you can do with it. चीनी, पता है चीनी?
हाँ.
Do you know जिससे कप बनता है?
Correct. हाँ.
तो चीनी की फैक्ट्री में जितनी भी वो चीनी स्क्रैप कर देते थे ना,
हाँ.
तो हम पीछे के रास्ते से घुस के बोरियां भर भर के चीनी ले आते थे. फिर चीनी का हम वो ट्रेन का पुल बनाते थे. तो
Right.
ट्रेन का पुल बनाया, उसके ऊपर प्लास्टिक की ट्रेन दौड़ाई.
Yeah.
So these were my childhood memories of Bappa, and celebrating it for 11 long days,
हाँ.
day in day out, and it's genuinely been it's this festival is so close to me. I can't really explain.
I agree, and it is very special. And in the times that we are today, Ritwik, especially after the pandemic, it is so important to understand the importance of eco-friendly.
Yeah, man.
Right?
ये तो बोलना भी नहीं चाहिए. अब समझाने वाले भी लोग, मतलब अब तो खुद ही समझ जाना चाहिए दोस्त, कितनी जरूरत है इन चीजों की.
बिल्कुल. Have you received any feedback after you started doing this in the last few years, and what has been the most sweetest feedback that you've received?
Honestly, I didn't pay attention to a sweet feedback for me, but the one thing that I liked is, and then I still appreciate is, every year the number of people who want to make the idol are only increasing.
Absolutely.
So there are more people who want to do this.
Yeah.
There are more people who want to, sort of experience this festival in a different way. So I think that's what's very exciting for me, more than somebody coming and telling बहुत अच्छी मूर्ति बनाई. यार वो तो कोई भी बना सकता है.
Of course.
But it's just how many people am I able to motivate to sort of come together and imagine आपने हर साल 11 दिन के गणपति होते हैं, किसी घर पे 1.5 दिन, किसी घर पे 5 दिन एवरेज मान के चलो. आप 5 दिन के वो बप्पा और उनके पहले के आप 5 दिन अलग से निकाल दो. ये साल के 10 दिन तो कोई भी निकाल सकता है ना. और दिन के हमें कुछ 3 घंटे लगते हैं. We don't need more than 2-3 hours late in the night. we are always making this in the night. सारे दिन का काम खत्म करके we come in the night आराम से 8, 9, 10 बजे के आसपास, and then we sit till 12, 1. और the beauty of that togetherness is something else. Like you connect on a different level.
Sure.
इस जगह की ऊर्जा अलग हो जाती है.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but the idea of starting Ganpati festival years ago was community gathering, right?
Absolutely.
To bring people together.
Yeah. It was community gathering. In fact, Bappa how did Ganesha come into existence? पार्वती माँ ने मिट्टी से तो उन्हें बनाया था.
Right.
पार्वती माँ ने थोड़ी प्लास्टर ऑफ पेरिस मंगवाया था कि आज मैं इतनी बड़ी मूर्ति बनाऊंगी बप्पा की, मेरा बच्चा निकले. ना.
Correct.
आंगन की मिट्टी उठाई. कई लोग कहते हैं आंगन की मिट्टी उठाई, कई लोग कहते हैं कि अपने अपने खुद के शरीर से कुछ जो मैल निकलता है उससे बनाया. पता है बहुत सारे अलग अलग एनेक्डोट्स हैं. बट बात यह है कि खुद के आंगन में अपनी मिट्टी से अपने बच्चे को बनाया और वैसे ही came to life.
Yeah.
Where have we forgotten that? Why don't we do it? क्यों? हाँ हम तोप हैं, हम पार्वती माँ से बड़े हैं, अब तो भी है.
Very poignant question to ask, but also I have to ask you this. You mentioned Rakesh Bapat.
Yeah.
He's your friend and he's in Big Boss house right now.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's missing the, the process that you guys do every year.
हाँ, I'm pretty sure वो वहाँ पर भी कुछ ना कुछ पेंट, कुछ ना कुछ कर ही रहा होगा. I'm not following the show much. I don't have the time much. But मुझे पक्का पता है कि कुछ ना कुछ तो वो ब्रश लेके, कुछ लेके ऐसा कुछ ना कुछ कर रहा होगा. आर्टिस्ट आदमी यार, वो अलग ही पागल आदमी.
Do you plan to visit him in the house soon?
I mean, if I get the opportunity to, why not? You know,
Sure.
एक किसी भी चीज के लिए for my shows just released, Cartel's just released. अगर
Absolutely.
किसी promotion के दौरान बुरी नजर is just released for Amazon Audible.
Yeah.
तो अगर किसी भी चीज के लिए मौका लगा, I would love to.
Lovely. And you mentioned Cartel. You
Yeah.
mentioned Buri Nazar. I loved Cartel. I've seen it. So very nicely done for that.
Thank you.
But talking about Buri Nazar also,
Yeah.
I think it released recently.
It just released 4 days ago.
How was that experience, to make your voice the actor and not really your face and expressions?
I mean, we're always acting with our voices, even when we're in front of camera.
Yeah.
aren't we? We're always that's one of the greatest tools for an actor. But to be honest, मेरे लिए नया था. Like, because when the Audible team got in touch with me and they presented this idea, it was really exciting.
Sure.
And not many people have known. Abhi it's not such a big market here
Yeah.
for audio films and for audio series. So I am absolutely lucky that I'm entering at the ground level where it's just beginning and people are only exploring this.
Yeah.
So that is really good. But it was very interesting to see कि एक studio में, which is 4x4 के studio में,
हाँ.
you're left with just one script and your emotions. What can you do?
Correct.
Can you create magic? I mean, and it's just exciting for an actor to be in that space. So yeah.
Lastly, what message would you like to give everyone who's celebrating Ganesh Chaturthi this year? How should they celebrate this festival to make sure that it's a community gathering but also done very safely?
Correct. Guys, of course, safety comes first. We're going through a very, very hard time through this pandemic. Please take care of your loved ones. Please take care of your beloved people that are around. Don't get into major gatherings. It's not required. You can have Papa at home and just your family members, and you can still have exactly the same amount of fun. And also, one more, the most important part that I want to share with each and every one of you is, please, before everything else comes Mother Earth. This is the only home that we have. If we lose this, we're doomed. And we're anyways heading towards doomsday. So let's not make it worse for the environment. Please go eco-friendly. It's the most amazing process to be a part of this. Make your own Ganpati. But even if you cannot, please only and only opt for eco-friendly Ganpatis. You can get it from anywhere. And there is a difference between POP and eco-friendly. Make sure you study before you buy. Just take care of Mother Earth, and believe me, you take care of Mother Earth, he takes care of you.
Lovely. Thank you for this lovely conversation. Let's end it with Ganpati Bappa.
Moria!
Thank you so much, Ritik.
Thank you,
This was a
Manish. It was lovely to see you, man. Cheers.
Same
Cheers.
here.
Thank you for
Same
coming. Thank you. Hi, guys. This is Ritvik Dhanjani. And if you guys liked what you saw and what we spoke about, then like, share, and subscribe to Pink Villa's YouTube channel.